Alright, I'm videoing. Yeah, it's kind of windy. Bit of a weather change here. Probably not too good an idea. Anyway, felt like doing it. So I did it. I hit the button. So I can't wake up. Figured video will wake me up. Yeah, I said I wouldn't do this shit. I'm doing it. Okay, to the point. Alright, I was thinking of perspective. And, there's always simple and then complex, in terms of answers for things or descriptions. You can just say tree, oh, whatever, wooden thing, pointy, straight uppy, or you can go into some more elaborate description. And what's necessary for the purpose. I'd say the substance of the evidence for life, in the universe, is that the universe is just mechanical, just bits flying around doing their thing. And what does it do? Well, it makes chemistry. Most of the chemistry is simple and sloppy. Oceans of methane, helium, getting created by burning up hydrogen. That kind of stuff. It's really crude. But clearly a little niche. Okay, bang. More complex chemistry can happen. Planets and such. And on this planet, this DNA thing happened, which, replicating molecule thing. So that's kind of a class of event, and it's a game changer in a way, right? Obviously. So you go from chemistry to replicating chemistry. It's a different class, really. And the replicating thing, yeah, it has all kinds of special nuances needed to really do the evolution thing, which is, it has to be a blueprint molecule and what has to be converted into. Lots of obstacles to get to a paramecium, for example. But then you run into another game changer, where the little bits, the little cells get huddled together into a mass, and you create this thing called an organism, or a multicellular organism. And it's a different class of organism. It's a different class of life form, because it's actually made out of life, and it has many more different kinds of features. These features I've called tools in the past. So, you go from chemistry to replicating chemistry. What does chemistry do? Replicating chemistry makes tools. That's what it does. Evolution over time just makes tools. And you're essentially a collection of tools. Things that make it possible for you to beat the other guy, win the race to survival and procreation, and that's it, and die. Do over, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And that's all that's happening, but it's certainly a significant happening, being one of these replicating things. So anyway, back to the story. So there's this difference between the single cell thing, which is just doing the rinse and repeat, nothing to see here, and then this conscious thing that's happening with the multicellulars that have the neurons and the brain that's doing the consciousness thing. And here we have another one of these, it's just a game changer. So what does that do? First, I'd say my argument would be it creates value in the universe. It's the most significant thing happening in the universe. Interesting rock. To me. Yeah. Anyway, so consciousness is creating this sensation thing, which is the invention of reward and punishment. So that's pretty much what consciousness does. Is it creates reward and punishment. So I think I'll get back to this. Trying to run, but man, I feel like yeah, I feel like a 50-year-old man or something. Anyway. Till next time. Let's add on a little bit maybe. Alright, so I think we're at the feeling brain invention as a tool because that's right, just because it does add all these features: learning, personalization of your life. Those are the two important ones. But it creates this mechanism of the carrot and the whip, punishment, reward and punishment. That's the big one, reward and punishment. That's what it creates. And so now organisms can be, through programming, agendas can be set, in some sense, in some vague way, like go that way, survival and procreation. But it lets you do it in your own way, your own scheme to get there. And yeah, that's an advantage to an organism. That's the evolution thing happening. And so yeah, we have one. We have a consciousness equipped identity because it's conducive to survival. And what it's basically doing is, as I've pointed out before, but it's taking reality and painting it with value. Some of the values completely written by the DNA molecule, like sexual desire, food, breathing. Some of the values written by our conditioning, our maturation, our culture, and still some few left behind would be, nuances of perspective gained through your personal edification as you migrate through your life. Principles, let's call them. Acquired knowledge. And that's the game. Feel, scheme, the solution. So you have feelings connected to your programming by conditioning and the native function. The feelings create a problem in that they kind of demand action. That's the nature of a feeling. And your rest of your brain runs through strategies that you've learned, successes and failures, and picks one, for today's strategy to deal with feelings, the problem. That's all there is. Now, on the outside of this argument, outside just making a stupid machine to replicate with all these really fancy tools now, it's like building an aircraft carrier. It just spins around in circles, and all the airplanes just fly straight up and down. It's just a silly machine in its agenda, which is just this copy the molecule. But certainly we do it in this very complex way. It looks very fancy, but it don't do fancy. There ain't no fancy to be done. But anyway, so the key argument philosophically I would make is that the creation of this consciousness thing, the feeling brain, that this ended up, ow, my back is a little bad, so I'm walking funny now. So that made me smash my foot, which now makes my back hurt more. Anyway, I'm kind of feeling my age today. Or maybe it's the Lyme disease, I don't know. Maybe I got it after all. Ow! Oh, my knee. Yeah, it just went out. Oh, this is not going to be a good day. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, the value engine. So yeah, so nature and just trying to, in creating this motivation engine, it created something of real substance, this capacity to be punished. Yeah, and the addictive rewards. And that's the nature of the value equation, is how sloppy we are in the acquisition of the agenda. And it really is crude forces controlling precious commodities, and we haven't upped the game much. Human race is pretty much still a pretty crude and stupid force. So anyway, ouch. All right, till next time. Alright, I think I'll add on a response to the Anticontavad. Another will to comfort, stay in the cave. So, keeps metaphoring approaches to life. It says, some people have this approach. Sorry, noises also. I had noises in this little meditation room. I thought it was a shed. But anyway, meditation / shed. Disposable refuse. The mob, Walmart, this is the cave, the Matrix, some good enough kind of world kind of idea. This idea that you're just living a lie, and you acclimate to the lie, and there's this challenge of being thrust into reality and having to face it, and he keeps saying how it'll either drive you crazy or make you Superman. Well, no. You'll either get it or you won't get it. Okay, you're either going to understand what you're seeing and be revolted, or you're going to not understand and still be in your cave, essentially, still wearing your glasses, your sunglasses, your rose-colored glasses in his case. So, yeah, I guess I'd just say he's still in the cave, designing. He's put on some pink glasses, he's put on this, he's doing this and this and this, he's rearranging the furniture in the cave, and saying, isn't it super now? But he's not doing this reality thing. Reality thing means you recognize that, oh, okay, it's evolution, we're basically bugs with radar and sonar and laser beams and nuclear bombs. But that's about all that's going on here. We're bugs that can sing and dance and masturbate, but nothing else really happening. And that's the truth, and it's depressing and discouraging. It sucks kind of the fun energy out of the lie you were living of Jedi fun. Somehow it's important that women love me, all this kind of crap, all that stuff that was important. You realize, oh, that's just DNA molecule talking. There's nothing really to accomplish because we're the ones making a mess. I mean, we're essentially the vomit of the universe, and the only thing to do is to clean it up. It's just a mess. But anyway, so that's the reality, and it doesn't necessarily have to kill you, but it's going to take the spark out of it, And you're going to live a little more carefully, but you're going to understand how everything you do is going to be capable of causing suffering and pain and misery and horror. So anyway, but his whole description of the cave is just so irritating because he calls that what culture is at. And it's not some benign thing. Culture isn't, the cave where you get to sit in a comfy couch and, eat potato chips and you don't know who brought them to you and who gave them to you. You're not living in some, the Time Machine movie, where the Eloys or whatever, where your life is provided for you. No, you have to do labor in this world, and you have to do labor. The whole Walmart problem isn't Walmart, it's that Walmart represents why your wages are being destroyed, and why you can't buy anything except shit at Walmart, shit on sale, because you don't have any money, because the rich people have it all. So, I mean, the cave for the rich people is a completely different cave than the cave for the poor people. So that should be part of the premise of this conversation, is that this pop culture thing does work for some people really well and works really badly for other people. So anyway, he talks about like taking the risk. I'm going to take the risk and step out of the cave, as if he's done some of that. And he hasn't done any of that. He's completely a sycophant to pop culture norms and memes and ideas of right and wrong in a sense, except that he would legalize pedophilia, I guess, or something. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem to be able to place any judgment on right or wrong acts based on people's volition or their desire. That somehow they're not supposed to temper or moderate those at all or something. And if something applies judgment, that's the bigger crime. If I judge somebody for indulging their personal gratification at somebody else's or something else's expense, somehow that's a crime. But the exploitation of the thing isn't a crime, which doesn't make any sense at all. So, you know, he just keeps using these metaphors as if he has been a real ballsy man. He's gone out into the real sun, and he's seen the real sun and looked right into its real eyes and shit, and survived. And he hasn't. Because he's denied the truth. He's pointed it clearly right out. He said the truth is for me to manipulate. Perception is mine. Facts are to be used, not to be obeyed. Facts aren't something. So, I mean, how is that stepping into the light? Where you're basically saying, if I don't like the way if I don't like where the evidence is pointing, I just point it someplace else. That's stepping into the light? That's doing the Plato, Aristotle, blah, blah, blah bullshit? No, that's not even coming close. That's being a cave dweller. You know, putting up curtains. Building meditation sheds. That's all you're doing. You're acclimating by just doing a little bit of interior decorating. You're not stepping in anything real. And he does sort of evade this conversation because he just keeps implying that there's this it will destroy you kind of thing, the truth, because Safi or Quran or some other asshole said so, and but there's no explanation of why it will destroy you. Like what are the detailed facts that will cut you to pieces? And those detailed facts might be, yeah, I'm living to die. The more mature and educated I become, the less time I'll have to enjoy any of it, to use any of it. So again, this is nothing used for. It would be another part of this. I'll learn if I really go out into the sun. What you're going to learn is my gratification is of no more use or value than any other thing's gratification. And if I can do 10 minutes work to help 10 people, or an hour's work to help me, clearly these are the decisions. These are the right and wrongs of reality. And this whole fact that I've been built to be a selfish fuck by nature, by a DNA molecule, and the real game is a game I'm not even built to play because I'm a selfish asshole. And I'm supposed to be logically playing a game that isn't selfish asshole. So it's like I'm built to be, I don't know, to play Monopoly, and the game is risk. You know, it's this, I'm playing the wrong game for the psychology I've been given. And that'll be the truth of it. That there's just a huge, you know, that there's trapdoors everywhere. You have to be meticulously careful, and in all that caution, you'll just suck up all the value of your existence will be sucked up in filling out the paperwork, of doing the logistics of figuring out, can I get away with this without causing catastrophe, without always trying to figure out, am I doing this for selfish reasons? Do I love her selfishly? Doing all that crap is going to make it impossible to play the game, because the risks are high. And once you see the light, what you see in the light is the risk. The potential to have existed or lived your life as a ruinous disaster. To leave the place lesser than the place you got, so to speak. To fail. And there's a realness to failure. See, that's another thing where he's just made it all okay by saying, well, as long as my victims are dead, it doesn't matter. You know, and yeah, well, that's a game you can play, but that's the Matrix game. That's the cave game. That ain't the sunlight game. That's just dishonest to say in the sunlight, to say to the sunlight, yeah, well, I killed my victim, so that doesn't matter, right? I'm off the hook because they're dead, right? It's in the past, so it's done. It's gone, so it doesn't matter, right? We only care about things now and in the future. And now is pretty much the future, right? Because as soon as I say now, that's already in the past. Right? So I never have to account for anything, because everything will always be in the past someday. And as soon as it's in the past, I can just say it never existed. So that the sunlight is going to laugh and say, what? You think I'm stupid? You know, what are you talking about, asshole? And it should fry you. It should burn you to a cinder and just say, oh, come on, you're not even trying to do this right. Being in the sunlight takes a little bit more, takes a bigger ball than that. So he keeps talking like he's riding a tiger, got big balls, facing the truth, and he's running from it as fast as he can, and just doing a little superficial touch-ups. You know, painting the chips in the walls, you know, taking whatever indelicacies he can remove out of his life, and that's it. But hasn't done a damn thing about doing that, facing the music that the sun is playing, that the truth is playing. The truth is ugly motherfucker, and there's just no way to make love to it. It's just gonna scare the shit out of you if you're honest, and if you're fair to it. But if you evade it, close your eyes or squint your vision, you're just a cave dweller then. You've just created your own cave. Isn't that all that is? Isn't squinting and turning your head and averting your vision and perverting your perspective like that, pretending the past doesn't matter? Isn't all that doing just creating the cave in your mind, protecting yourself? Come on, tell the truth. So anyway, I think that's enough. Yeah. I mean, you know, I just think it's a silly metaphor. This cave is not a great place for most people, and the truth is, unfortunately, even suckier. And that's the only reason why people would rather not go to the truth, because yeah, the truth is gonna, if you're really gonna get the sun, you're gonna get burned. But if you put on lotion of lies and convenience, I'll just only accept the convenient rays. I'll block the others. That's all you're doing, sun block. So yeah, so you're a sunblock wearing interior decorator, and you're talking about how you're riding tigers and have big balls. I don't think so. I just don't think so. I don't think that's the right definition of the terminology. Nope. Fail. Till next time. Ah, I'm back. I think. Yeah. So anyway, windy, cold. Oh, my back is just shit. So anyway, so I had to do the video slumped over. Oh, it's just terrible. Anyway, so I might be talking longer than usual. I mean, usual for lately. Well, I'll try to run. But yeah, I feel like it's going to work. Anyway, you don't need all that. Again, it's all this personal shit in the middle of a philosophy video. This is bullshit. Maybe I'll try the other hand. The camera, holding the camera's ruining my back, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, are there any truths that are comforting? So let's say you do this step out of the mundane, routine, mob psychology thing, the cliche cultural bullshit of God done it, we have a magical purpose, it's all gonna work out, happily ever after is gonna happen, yay, we're just being tested and we're all gonna pass the test eventually, except for the Christians who all go to hell eventually. But anyway, our boring heaven, which is even a worse cave than the cave, seems to me anyway. I just don't get it. Heaven, I just don't get the prize part. What did you win? You know, you show up, you go, so what did I win? Oh, pearls, pearly gates, ooh, and emeralds and rubies. Can you have sex with those? I think so. Anyway, I guess some people can. Anyway, I guess you will once you're in heaven. That's all there's going to be, the hump. Anyway, I don't want to get into a religion thing. But yeah, religion is silly, but I suppose comforting to some people for some dopey reason, like, oh, at least it has a purpose, and so I don't have to think about it. God says it's all okay, so don't worry about it. Just be good, and everything will be just fine. Blah, 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 blah. So I guess that's comforting. What the fuck? This is really... Jesus Christ. Anyway, poopy shitball. There, I said that instead of Jesus Christ. Poopy shitball. Anyway, that's how the ticks get me. Anyway, tears. Shit. Ooh, stepped on one. Ew, got horse shit on my shoe. Anyway, so yeah, reality is evolution. Yeah. Tree grow up, tree fall down. Yeah. And then the kids are sentenced to do it again. Yeah, fall down. Yeah. Grow up and then fall down. Yeah, I like watching fall down. No. No point at all. Pretty horrid. The truth is 10,000 baby sea turtles per sea turtle have to be killed, annihilated, eliminated from the breeding pool. Okay, so 10,000 to 1 odds of getting to have sex. So here's the game you're playing. Get your eyeballs poked out by a bird, and 1 in 10,000 times you get to have sex first. Would you buy a ticket? Come on, be honest. Would you buy a ticket? 10,000 times you're going to get your eyes pecked out by a bird, and 1 time you're going to get to have sex and swim around the ocean, go blah blah blah, I'm a sea turtle, blah blah blah. You can run away from sharks, have sharks eat your fin off, and you'll spin around in circles, shit like that, and then you'll die anyway. So in all cases, in all 10,001 scenarios, you get pecked to death in some way. But in one scenario, you get to have sex first. Good deal? Buying a ticket? No. So reason tells you, oh, I'm part of a really sick, stupid game. Really, really sick. Yeah, kill 5 or 6 of my brothers and sisters in nature so I can live. Ooh, cool. So yeah, the truth is ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. And it's pretty hard to ride the truth in everyday life. And anyone who says they're doing it is probably lying. Because they're probably thinking about pussy and shit. They're not thinking about the truth. You know, they're you know, putting on some kind of colored glass to get through the day. And that's okay when you admit that's what you're doing. When you admit you're just playing your psychology to live another day. Getting caught up in your ego, getting caught up in your desire for a bag of potato chips. You know, if you're just getting caught up in it, then just admit that. That's okay. But to lie and say, I'm facing the truth, you know, when you're not, when all you're doing is facing the delusions you've created in your head, you know, that's just rude, that's all. It's just kind of rude to the truth, to the victims, to say you've acknowledged their existence. I've contemplated, truth would be, I have contemplated all the horror that happened today, and I'm still joyfully skipping down this path. No, that you couldn't really do. You would just be, it's a boner killer, okay? Truth is a boner killer. Okay, maybe I'll title the video that. Yeah. Yeah. Squeaky trees. That's the damn truth. The truth is one of these trees might kill me someday. Truth is, my back hurts. And sucks. Period. completed sentence. Period. Alright, anyway. There's always some little, this whole back thing is just such a... I'm so much better than I used to be. I mean, I used to get laid up for, 3 weeks, 2 weeks at a time with, pain that just was totally crippling. Like, barely walk anywhere, have to, totally immobilized. And so I am much better when I did a few little exercises. And so now I only get this usually for a day or two. But it's kind of funny because you don't feel it when you do it. It's like I hurt my back yesterday because I was doing a lot of lifting and moving and shit. And I just picked something up the wrong way. It's not like it's probably not that it was one heavy thing that did it. It was just one thing that I lifted with it like too much leverage. And that when you lift something out here, it's more leverage back there. And that's the one that did it, no doubt. And, further compressed my little discs, one of them's a little crookedy, worn out on one side from my youth as a laborer. Yeah. I used to strap newspapers on me like a mule when I was a kid, and then I worked in restaurants carrying, trays that were as heavy as I was. Very bad idea. Up and down stairs, no less. Insane. So yeah, I'm paying for it for the rest of my life for my minimum wage job, which, it's kind of bogus. It's one of those truths of the rip-off. It's sort of a pretty little flower. Can't remember what they're called, but lilacs are, they're called some kind of spice name, I think. Lavender? No. Something. Who cares? Lavender. It's a nice word, lavender. You can name somebody Lavender, but all the abbreviations kind of suck. Lavy, like lavatory. That's no good. So anyway. Okay, I'll spare you the... I just want to be able to straighten up, man. Alright, till next time, such. Alright, a little bit more on to Contabod's theory that he's doing something that's something. That means something in some other way than just learning tricks to pull the wool over your own eyes and live in the moment kind of thing, or live in the time zone. And that's all he's really doing. He's just saying the past is, oh, whatever, that's just a story, and the future is, who knows. Let's just pretend we don't know. Old age and death. Just saw some of that old age stuff. You don't get called the right name, This kind of funny little thing, but there's ominous clouds over there. Hope they stay over there for a little while longer. I don't feel like getting rained on. Just walking so funny. The sun's coming through the one little hole over there. It's just kind of funny. There's one tiny little hole left. And it's going through that. Dark in front, dark behind. Anyway. So, yeah, it's just... Yeah, I just don't know, you always have to use these metaphors, but, this idea of riding the tiger when you're not really doing that. I mean, it's just kind of offensive when you're not really, eating the poison and surviving. You're not really, you know, like in the deer hunter playing chicken, you know, with the loaded guns. That's not really what's happening. You know, it's just a gimmick. It's like the Indian guys who are immune to snake bite, playing with the snakes. You know, walking on the hot coals, where we all know the science is that you're just walking on steam. You know, and air pressure. You know, the bed of nails thing. You know, as long as you even the pressure out, no punctures. You know, as long as you lie on them the right way. You know, it's all just gimmicks. And all he's doing is selling a line of gimmick, a little bag of magic tricks to think you're Ultraman. You know, that you've achieved some higher level. And it's a kit. You know, it's the you achieve the higher level kit. And you just, you know, follow the assembly instructions. Come up with some bullshit mantra theme. You know, do your little 12 steps. And you'll be liberated. Not from the grisly pop memes, but you'll be liberated from, you know, sunburn, truth burn. Yeah, the truth burns. Yeah, deep and hard. If you're not wearing goop, if you're not wearing gobbledygook. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like the way I tied all that together. Yeah, very good. So anyway, I'll cut you a break. Probably wind noise and such. I'm quite disabled. Anyway, till next time. As long as I'm in one position, I'm okay. But walking is a little rough. So till next time.